hall through different avenues, but everybody escaped. And I'm pretty thankful that my avenue was one in which I can still function today and know and embrace myself and love my kids and tell them that they have, they're wonderful for who they are.
Right.
And teach them the right avenues. I'm functioning just fine.
To that point, one of the passages in here is just one sentence that really struck me, and I think everyone can relate to this. At such a young age, each of us was already being molded into who we are today. And I'm sure every child has that experience. But with your experience, your siblings' experience, such a dramatic, profound molding in the way that it was with what your life was like. What is your relationship like now with your siblings?
Well, my youngest brother, he found me through, we hadn't seen each other, if you read in the book, I ended the book with just tears because I didn't think I'd ever see him. It had been almost 30 years.
Yeah.
So I didn't think I'd ever see him again. And so I wrote in the book a goodbye kind of, letter. And then he Googled me, right after I did the sobbing and the send it off to the publisher. He Googled me and said, I want a book.
Yeah.
And so we are now together. He's my manager. And my oldest sister, when she read the book, it brought us closer, like never before, like I didn't even know was possible, and my siblings were all starting to reconnect and get to know each other. And I think, obviously some it's more fearful than others.
Yeah, that must be tough when someone is talking about their past, but you're integrally connected to that past, and so now your past is being exposed and you hadn't really planned on that suddenly.
But my twin sister says it really well. She's like, we all have demons.
Yeah.
And anybody who doesn't have that demon in their past,
probably isn't
lying.
I was just going to say, probably isn't being very honest.
Yeah.
So you've got this book, Looking Through the Eyes of an Unseen Child. You have another book coming out, right?
Well, that's one of two, because there's another book, Looking Through the Eyes of an Unseen Child 2.
Okay.
And then in the second part of that book, it says, we are not the only unseen children. See the unseen, open the next page and see the unseen children of today. And it's art and poetry and journals from not only some of my children and the children that we've adopted, but children around the world. Adults and children around the world.
That's pretty amazing.
So another book will be coming out called The Joy of Being Seen, and that will just be all of the art, journals, and poetry that was sent in, because we were bombarded.
Right. Wow.
At times I was getting 60 emails a day just with people saying, I have my story. Can I put my story in there? All the way to a little girl who was 13, Sunshine, in Baghdad. She sent her journals.
All children should be seen. And you have some other big Hollywood stuff, or I should say New York sort of thing coming up too, right? Are you at liberty to talk about that?
Yeah.
The movie?
Yes.
Okay.
I am working with Too Much Mustard Productions for a screenplay for a motion picture. I just got back from New York City for the second time, and it's real intense. It's really intense to hear your life being told by somebody else.
Right. Did you get to see some of you were telling me you got to see some of the actors sort of playing you and your siblings?
Well, and my screen, one of the screenwriters, James Patrick, there was a point in which when he was acting out the screenplay, it was like overwhelming.
Yeah, I bet.
Was overwhelming. It was like, wow, yeah, that's my brother Sam.
Yeah.
And it was just like, wow, to have a man sitting there portraying somebody that, my sibling, it was hard.
Right.
I'm not going to lie. It's hard. I think that this is going to be, I thought that was the big challenge. But
the book, yeah.
Yeah, that's a piece of cake compared to what I think is opening up for me, and especially the story opens up with September 11th, as you know, because you will be the newscast woman in the motion picture. So, you know, that'll be hard to go back and look at that time in my life too, September 11th.
I imagine that would be
seeing
really
the
tough.
World Trade Center.
As we begin to wrap up, tell us what you would really like viewers to get out of this program tonight and the book itself.
To know that there's so many people, so many children, and so many adults who are unseen. They're unseen, and if you just take the time and look into their eyes and listen to their stories, you know, you can be the one person that can change their life and change their future. You know, teachers, if you just take time, you could be that one person to change the life of that one child, and through that one child, many more children can be saved.
Do you have information, a place where people can go to learn more about you, your book, or multiple personalities?
Well, unseenchild.com, if you go there, we are building a resource page for women with multiple personalities, DID, sexual abuse, and I'm also working with Felicia Scott, healingclub.com. She does have an entire page dedicated to that, and she's a whole new story. But and so you can go. Those are two of the best resources that I have.
Great. Well, so nice of you to come and share your story, because I know it's tough to talk about it, but again, Looking Through the Eyes of an Unseen Child is just an amazing book, and what I got out of it was some of the things in my childhood, you know, not as nearly as egregious as yours, but I think every reader will get something out of it.
They'll be able to put themselves in their past, in